Can Dortmund get themselves back into the top four after a terrible season? And will Napoli hold off Inter for the Scudetto?
It is El Clasico time, and we've got 3 teams fighting for 2 spots in the Prem. All this and much, much more on this episode 66 of the No Business Soccer Podcast. News, kick us off.
Let's dig in. Oh, yes. Welcome back to the No Business Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, Snooze, and we got the full gang here today, the No Business Boys, J-Fam, the Brainiac. We got Danny P on the ones and twos, and, of course, the crowd favorite, Hype Man Vic. What you sipping on, dog?
I'll tell you what I got today, and it's only because of, as everybody obviously knows, E.H. Taylor is now going into the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, the BTAC Collection. Everybody knows that, right? Snooze, yeah. So we're just going to celebrate with one of their most favorable or most findable options. With EH, huh?
Their most feral options. Like, that doesn't sound good, man.
I don't know what I was mixing that word with, but just their E.H. Taylor small batch. Everything's bottled in bond, as you know, Snooze, bottled in bond. That's the way E.H. Taylor goes. And it's everything in a classic bourbon, just a little bit more fruitier. You get some red fruits on there, and as I take this sip, let's go ahead and hit that like button. Let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's easy. It's free as far as I know, right? We're not charging you guys. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Cheers, everyone. Glad you're here.
There you go. And while you're doing that, let's talk about what we're covering today. Obviously, we had some big matchups in the UEFA competitions that went down. So we'll discuss all those in just a moment. And then we also have to go over I want to say the penultimate matches, but not in all the leagues. But anyway, every league is back, and that's talking about La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, Bundesliga, all of them, with so many high-stake games coming up. It's going to be fun, specifically Serie A. There's a lot going on in that league. And so, man, I don't know if we can have any more time to talk about this stuff because we've been running really long lately. I don't know if we want to do that this time. So, without further ado, Vic, let's jump right into the UEFA competitions. And just to call it out, if you see me like acting weird, because there's a freaking fly in my room, my office, and it just landed on my head. Like, I've been trying to kill this thing for a while, so it's just messing with me now. Like, I'm gonna catch it
on purpose.
I'm gonna catch it. He is. Anyway, all right. Sorry. Let's go to the Conference League, and today we know who the finals are for all the competitions, and we start off with the Conference League. Chelsea beats Djurgården 5-1 on aggregate, dominate that matchup. And they will be in the Conference League final against the winner of Fiorentina and Betis. And if you don't know, I'm gonna hold it off for a second because first off, it was an awesome game down in Florence. Fiorentina comes back, Real Betis does what they do, and Anthony gets an amazing free kick goal. He's doing it consistently now, Vic. And it was enough to see Real Betis get past them in extra time. Well, actually, he assisted for the goal that got them through. But Betis beats Fiorentina, our Fiorentina, 4-3 on aggregate to face Chelsea. And I said it last week, as much as I like Fiorentina, I think a Real Betis versus Chelsea matchup would be really fun. And it's happening. It is happening. Vic, who, just first glances, who do you think has the edge in that Betis-Chelsea matchup?
Man, I mean, nobody's betting against Anthony right now. That's I think the way, especially his free kick, insane. Great ball placement, and pause. But I don't think anybody's going to be betting against Real Betis. I'm not going to be, and I got Real Betis winning.
Yeah, same here. Obviously, I don't like Chelsea either, so I'm definitely going to be going for Betis. Man. Anthony, it started off like, first off, why do Brazilians, why do they hate H's?
I don't know.
Like, it's weird, right?
But their R's are H's. Like they like Rafael, like, yeah. I don't understand.
I don't know. It's like Anthony. Why isn't there just a T there? Anyway, but he's been unreal since he's been at Betis. And at first it started off as like, oh, okay, like, yeah, he's had a couple good games. Sure. He's doing it consistently now. And it's like, it's not a joke anymore. It's time to take it serious because he's tearing it up, and he might be the reason or the answer to Real Betis beating Chelsea in the Conference League final. And I'm excited to see this one. And I'm glad it's happening this way because Chelsea, for pretty much the entire time, I don't think they've even drawn. Maybe they've drawn in the Conference League. They certainly haven't lost yet. And I just didn't want to see them walk through another trophy. And this time, I think this is their first real match. So we'll see how it goes down. And that's on May 28th. I think that was a Wednesday. Isn't that what we looked at earlier? 2 o'clock on Wednesday, May 28th. And I'm excited for that. I'm actually really, really excited for that one. But there's more to talk about. Let's go to the Europa League, where nothing really changed from last time out. We saw Manchester United taking a commanding 3-0 lead into Old Trafford to face Athletic Club. And this match ends 4-1, which means United beats Athletic Club 7-1 on aggregate, which is just insane. I mean, that is crazy. Although Athletic Club had a lot of injuries, I heard that, obviously, Owen Sunset has been out for a while, and I heard that both Williams brothers were either injured in this match or they weren't playing at some point. So that's 3 of their top scorers right there. And, not to make excuses, but it's a big deal. And so Manchester United get the win at Old Trafford. They go ahead to the final, and they will be facing my Spurs, who get it done against Bodo Glimt. They win 2-0 on the day, 5-1 on aggregate, and it wasn't ever close. Like I said, when we were talking about this matchup, not to be disrespectful, but Bodo Glimt, they did really good to get where they were, but Spurs they're going to overpower them. They have more quality, and they showed it. They showed it through 2 legs, and we're on to a final. But Vic, if you remember this conversation, I don't remember if we had it on the podcast or not, but I was saying that I almost wanted Bilbao. I definitely wanted Bilbao to beat Manchester United, because it would be like if Spurs are going to San Mamés, which is Athletic Club's home stadium, you can't expect to win that, right? That is like destiny right there. And now that it's Manchester United, all the pressure is on Spurs because we've already beaten them 3 times this year. And this is a final now, and it's a trophy. Both these teams don't deserve a trophy. I mean, deserve is a harsh word. They've obviously put in the work to get here. But in the table and in just how they played recently, neither team deserves to win a trophy compared to other teams in the leagues. But yeah, I think going into this match, Spurs would probably end up being favorites. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I was with you. I did want to see Tottenham play against I almost said Sevilla. I almost pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah, right.
Athletic Club. I thought that would be cool, but it gives you a way out, man. Like you should want to win, but you like to play all sides. So you're like, oh, we should win, but we're in Athletic Club's home stadium, so we shouldn't win. So either way, I'm happy for you guys. I'm pulling for you guys because I think, number one, it's a great Premier League battle for 15th in the table in España for some reason. And also, if y'all beat Manchester United and then Real Betis wins, like Anthony got hardware before Manchester United this season. Cool. I think that'd be cool.
That's insane. Hey, keep that thought in mind, because there's something else when we get to the Champions League. But I would like to clarify, my statement isn't that I have no faith or whatever. The what I'm saying is that if it was Athletic Club at San Mamés, if we lost, I wouldn't feel as bad, because it's like, that's destiny, right? They're playing in their home stadium. I expect to win against Manchester United, which is not something I should be doing this season with this Spurs team. That's the difference. That's why I didn't want to play them specifically. And man, it's just a different vibe around it. Now, what I can't understand really is, like, there's a tier, right? So there's Conference League, then there's Europa League, then there's Champions League. Why is the Europa League on a Wednesday before the Conference League, the week before? No idea. I don't know why they do that. It's happened like I think it's happened since its inception. Oh, look at that big word alert. But anyway, I think we're going for Spurs in this one. I mean, obviously I am. Excuse me. I believe you are too. And we're going to go hang out, go to Tramps maybe. We'll see.
Let's do it. I'm down.
It's on a Wednesday.
I could probably take the day off. Yeah. Maybe they do the games like in rank of like popularness or something like that, like rank of cool teams.
No, that's wrong, because they did it last year too, and
get Tottenham.
They did the year before that too.
I don't know. I'm just a theory. I don't know. If you guys know Let us know in the comments why they do that. Who'd you like to?
That's definitely not a
to you guys figure
theory.
it out?
Definitely not a theory.
Yeah, it's probably a theory. It's got to be out there. So,
all right, let's move on to the Champions League because we had probably one of the best semifinals of all time, Champions League history, I guess we can call it, with Inter getting past Barcelona. They won 4-3 on the day, 7-6 on aggregate. That is 13 goals between these two matches, and that is insane. And Barcelona, they were on the cusp. They should have won this in regular time, but Inter just kept fighting back, Vic. It was one of the most insane, one of the craziest matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it was on at work. Luckily, our manager and our director weren't there, so we could indulge a little bit more. But my friend who was really watching it, he was in a meeting at the time. So while Inter scored in extra time, like we were all going crazy, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "They scored! They scored!" Yeah, yeah, it was hilarious.
I once Rafinha scored, I was just like, "That, duh, that was gonna happen. It's over." And then they get the stoppage time equalizer, go into extra time, and get that. I mean, what a match! I honestly, we were talking about it before they even went into this first leg, and I was saying that Inter going into that one hadn't won or scored a goal in 3 matches.
Jeez,
and they ended up losing. Well, they lost in the Coppa Italia, and then they also lost the top spot in the Serie A to Napoli. So they were going in with nothing left but that. I mean, technically they still win the Serie A, but it's not looking good. And we'll talk about all those matches here in a second. And then they go and put 7 goals past Barca. And, maybe this isn't the Barca team, defensively speaking, that they have been in the past because of the way Hansi Flick plays. But either way, man, crazy game to see. And so Inter will be in the final. And they will be going against PSG, who get the win over Arsenal 2-1. And that's 3-1 on aggregate. So it's PSG versus Inter. And it's crazy because, as you were saying with Anthony, he might win a final before Manchester United does. Isn't it funny how Mbappe and all the stars, they had Messi there at one point, Ibrahimovic, they had Neymar. Oh, everybody's gone. And now they have a chance to win a final. And now they have a chance to win the Champions League final. That's crazy. You can't write that better.
And they're going to win, obviously, because I've been saying it since they made Liverpool look like crap. They're going to win this league. They're the best team ever. And even when we were playing...
You know what I would say? Can I make a statement real quick? You said that multiple times.
Yes.
Spurs have beat Liverpool this year, too. You know that, right?
Yeah, but...
I just want to remind you that... So
you're right. We were doing our community service.
I'm just saying, so PSG... So whoever beats Liverpool, so Forest... Spurs and PSG, and now Chelsea. But anyway, I just wanted to call that. I was thinking about that.
Well, then that means that you are going to win for sure as well.
I'm just saying, I mean, hell yeah. Just had to call that out because you keep saying PSG, but there's other teams that have beat Chelsea.
I mean, PSG is obviously a different level.
Well, I don't know. And we both did the same thing, beat Liverpool. So, but yes, you're right. PSG by far the best team in Europe this year, and they're going to prove it in my eyes. I think Inter will be definitely a different test for them because defensively speaking, Arsenal and Barca, they were going to be different matchups for them, right? So obviously they didn't end up playing Barca, but my point is if they would have played Barcelona, that would have been a little bit more of an open match. Arsenal, they're going to go after it too, so obviously PSG are going to have a chance. Inter, completely different. They are defensively sound. And apparently they just found out how to score goals all of a sudden, so that they're very dangerous. As much as I, coming into this final, was thinking if PSG got Inter in the final, it would be pretty clear cut for them. After seeing what they did to Barca, though, I don't know, man. It's a toss up. I'm obviously going for PSG, but I wouldn't put money on it. I think it's closer than most people will probably think. That's where I stand on it.
You're on your own. I'd put my whole life savings on PSG. There's no way they're going to lose. It's impossible. Right. No way they're going to lose.
And you've said that multiple times, so we'll see. All the way to the final, all the way to the bank.
All the way.
There's the fly right there. God, he's just mocking me.
Get it.
Okay, let's move on then. I think it's time to jump into our weekend look ahead. And like I was saying, we have Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, and the Prem. And we'll start off in Italy.
Let's do it then to Serie A.
Serie A has done it again, Vic. They spread their games out so well that like it must have been just a really boring weeks 15 through 25 or something, because there's just banger after banger in the league. And this week specifically, we got a lot of them, and it all kicks off. Before we do that, though, let's talk about the table. Oh, I caught myself.
You got it. You almost did it.
It all kicks off on Friday, but before we talk about that, where's the table at after match day 35?
Yeah. Let's refresh everyone's memory. We have Napoli on top. Of course, they have 77 points, looking absolutely strong and in great form. They are followed by Inter Milan, who have 2 losses the past 3 games, which puts them behind Napoli by 3 points. 2 really big losses. And that's exactly why I think Napoli's going to take this. They're the most in-forward team right now, and it doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon. But a little trip up could mean everything. We'll find out coming up the rest of the season. In the number 3 spot is Atalanta. They have 68 points, followed by Juventus in the number 4 spot with 63 points. And then tickling the top 4, we're going to do a couple of teams here because you have Roma and Lazio also at 63 points in the 5th and 6th spot, respectively. And then with 62 points, just one more point behind them in the 7th spot is Bologna, trying to fight into those European tournament spots. And it's going to be insane these next couple of weeks. There's only 3 match days left. 3 match days left. I can math. And just one slip up, one draw is going to mean the entire difference that we have here. And it's going to be really fun to watch. So, we'll see how it goes. Another part that's kind of fun is on the bottom of the table here. You have Venezia in the 18th spot. They have 26 points, and of course, with one more win and a Lecce slip up, they can get out of that relegation spot, which is crazy because we gave them a star and their badge because they were on the bottom, and I just felt so bad for them because they were on the bottom for so long. And now they might be fighting out of relegation, which is pretty crazy. And then 1 point behind them is Empoli with 25, and then the well-relegated machine Monza, a solid foundation for the City in last place, already mathematically relegated. And we will sayonara, boys. We won't see you next year. I think I said that on a short that we would see you next year, but we won't. You'll be in the league below. My fault. Anything on the table you want to take a look at first before we break down this weekend's news?
Just looking at the whole table, all I want to say is that this is by far the most competitive league this season, the most fun league. I mean, we're 3 match days out from the finish, and we have no freaking clue how the table is going to end up. Obviously, besides Monza, but anyway, awesome, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Yep. And one of the most important games we have is the number 1 and number 5. We will get to that in just a moment, but tell us about what's going on this weekend in Italy, Stews.
Yes, sir. It pops off on Friday, and it's actually a really good matchup. Most of the time, they give you kind of like a softball, like, "Hey, here's your entryway into the weekend." But they're actually starting off with a bang. Milan take on Bologna at San Siro, and if you look at the table, you see a matchup between 7th and 9th. But as Vic was just showing you, Bologna are only a point back from that 4th spot. They've slipped up recently with only 1 win in their last 5, but Milan have won back-to-back. So this is going to be a fun one. And as I've said a few times now, Bologna, I'm on their side after watching how they beat Inter. I just want them to do great. Not that, Milan, we have reasons to like them, American reasons. But that one's going to be a fun Friday afternoon matchup. On Saturday, Como get Cagliari at home as they look to extend their winning streak to 6 in a row. This is a Cagliari team that have lost 3 of their last 5, so Como should feel good about their chances in getting 3 points here. It's 4th versus 6th when Lazio host Juve. Both teams come in on 63 points, and the goal differential is the only thing that's giving Juve the edge right now, Vic. With only 2 matches left after this, if there is a winner in this one, it could essentially lock the victor into a top 4 spot, and this is a big, big match, folks. Empoli are spiraling down the drain at the moment with back-to-back losses and in 19th place, but they'll take on Parma at home. Parma have only lost once in their last 5, but are in 16th, and just a point would be fine for them. On Sunday, Udinese will look to make it back-to-back wins when Monza come to town. Monza have already been relegated, so Udinese should be looking to string together some results after losing so many recently. We have a massive battle in the fight for safety when Verona host Lecce. And now Verona, realistically, they only need a couple more points to be safe, but the Milkmen are only a point above Venezia and that last relegation spot, so they definitely need to get all 3 if they can. Inter get a mid-table Torino side who are a tough night out, but have been more vulnerable as of late, Vic. With Inter being in the Champions League final and only 3 points off Napoli for the Scudetto, it's coming down to the wire, and they are fighting on two fronts. Your Serie A table toppers Napoli host Genoa, who come into this match off the back of 3 straight losses. It's not Napoli style typically, but I'm sure they would love to put this one to bed early. And on Monday, Venezia host our Fiorentina in Venice. And this is an important matchup for both teams as Venezia need to win for Serie A survival and Fiorentina need to win to give themselves a chance to qualify for Europe next season. And the match of the week is Atalanta against Roma, and we'll talk about this one more right now. I was just saying a sec, but I'm the only buffer here. So
technically, it's a second. That's second. You got it.
Technically, that was second. And so coming into this match, the AT Aliens have made had some questionable results of late, but they've still won 3 of their last 5 and sit in third. They're on 68 points right now, and it's 5 more than Juve in fourth. So obviously they'd love to extend that gap, but realistically, they only need about 1 win or maybe a couple points from the last 3 matches, and they would be fine. But I mean, they're trying to lock up a Champions League spot, and everybody's coming for them, so they need to make sure they get it done sooner rather than later. But that's going to be tough, Vic, because the boogeyman of Serie A is coming to town with Roma, who are on a 19-match unbeaten streak in the Serie A, and they've won 3 straight. And as we mentioned earlier, 4 through 7 in this Serie A table, they're separated by 1 point. So a win here, and Roma could only be 2 points off Atalanta in third place, which they were closer to the relegation spots in the fall. And so that is that. I mean, it's in third through fifth, though. At this point, it's just a high stakes match. If you're having a third versus fifth matchup at any point in the season, right? But now we're getting that matchup at this time of the season with these many points on the line, and it's a big match, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. I honestly don't know which way to call it, Vic. I would be going for Roma because how can you doubt them? But Atalanta at home, that's a tough out. If you were putting my foot to the fire, is that the body part that you put?
Feet to the fire. Yeah, your feet to the fire.
Feet to the fire.
Yeah.
I would probably go Atalanta. But who you taking, Vic?
I don't know, man. I think it means more to Roma. I just don't know if they can pull it off because Atalanta, even if they get these 3 points, they're still 6 points behind Inter Milan for the second one. I think I said 1 versus 5 earlier. I meant 3 versus 5. I don't know why I said that, but this is a really close matchup. I think it means more to Roma. And those away fans are going to be just going crazy. There's no way that they're not just going to be absolutely going nuts. So I think they can do it. I think it's going to make for a fun weekend, and it's just going to just mess some things up for the table. So I say let's do it. I'm going Roma.
I mean, if Roma can get it done, and hopefully there's not a draw because that kind of just it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. But if Roma end up winning, that would just be insanity. That would be chaos in the table. And I'm all for it. Honestly, I'm all for it. I just think Atalanta are a little tougher than I don't want to say what Roma has gone up against because they played some really good teams. It's hard. I have a feeling it's the home team. I think Atalanta. Okay. That is your Serie A weekend. I told y'all at the beginning, at the top, it's a hell of a weekend in Italy. And now let's turn our attention to Spain.
Let's do it then. To La Liga. Dun, 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 dun. So smooth. So smooth.
And where does the table leave us after match day 33?
Yes. It looks very familiar on top. Barcelona are in the number 1 spot. They have 79 points. Still haven't put the league away, but they are working on it. They haven't put the league away because only 4 points behind them is Real Madrid in the number 2 spot with 75 points. Atletico Madrid behind them, a clear 8 points with 67 points in the number 3 spot. And then Athletic Club, 6 more points behind Atletico Madrid with 61 points. And then rounding out our top 5 is Villarreal with 58 points. And then tickling our top 5 is the GOAT, Antony, and Real Betis, as they have 57 points, just 1 point behind that Champions League spot. And I think a lot of people are rooting for them. That would be insane to see them get one of those Champions League spots for next year. But let's go Real Betis. But the other team occupying the Europa League spot is Celta Vigo, but that is a clear 11 points behind Real Betis. That's where you see a little bit more parity into, I guess, those last place Europa spots because tied with 44 points behind them, and I'm going a long time, but it gets really meaty here in the middle here, is Rayo Vallecano, who have 44 points. Osasuna also have 44 points, and Mallorca have 44 points. And Real Sociedad, we haven't really talked about them that much whenever we talk about the table. They have 43 points, just 1 point behind them. One win puts any one of those teams in a Europa League spot and into playing European tournament football next year. It's going to be insane to see. This whole meaty section in the middle. Sounds like me, but this whole meaty section in the middle, that sounds pretty cool. It's going to be pretty fun to watch. Not as fun to watch. Here on the bottom, you have Las Palmas. They are in the 18th spot with 32 points. They are followed by Leganés in the 19th spot with 31 points. And then holy guacamole, my Bolidolis, Real Valladolid, already mathematically relegated, a well-relegated machine there. A good, solid foundation for the rest of La Liga. Anything you want to go over on the table, Snooze?
I will say because Barcelona got knocked out, Athletic Club got knocked out, so those Champions League spots, that's not moving, right? That's stuck there. The only thing that I think can change, and my math could be wrong, but Betis, because if they beat Chelsea in the Conference League, they would then go to because you get into the Europa League if you win the Conference League, but if they finish in the Europa League spot, I think that goes down. So La Liga might have 9 teams in the freaking European competitions next season, which is that's crazy. So
yeah, that is wild. Wow.
Shows you how good their teams are, though, because that coefficient isn't by the league. Obviously, it's by how they perform in Europe. So obviously, they're doing something right.
Very good, awesome. Well, everyone's talking about El Clasico this weekend, but we do have a couple of other bangers out there for the weekend. Tell us a little bit about these weekend matchups in La Liga Snooze.
Yes, sir. Friday, we have Las Palmas hosting Rayo in Gran Canaria. Canaria? You know what I'm talking about. And looking at their final 4 opponents, Rayo might be the toughest one of the bunch for Las Palmas. As they play and they still play Sevilla in that bunch, and that just tells you how shitty their year's been. But Rayo are fighting for Europe. Las Palmas are fighting for safety. This is a good island game to have, and that's what I was saying earlier about how Serie A has Bologna and Milan. Like we get these kind of matchups most of the time. Las Palmas versus Rayo, right? Not big clubs, but the fact that we're getting so close to the end of the season, that's where the stakes are. Both teams have a lot to play for here, and I'm excited for this one. I think. Mainly because we want to go see Las Palmas. Actually, isn't that coming up like in less than a month, right? Las Palmas is going to be here. Is it in May?
May is the weekend after, I think.
Oh, holy God, they're hopping on a plane into May. Wow. Yeah. So, I think they have Sevilla and Rayo, and then they have a couple other teams that are lower down the table for Las Palmas. Let's get it done. Let's get it done, boys.
We should buy our tickets soon. Yeah,
we probably should do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
On Saturday, Valencia have a chance to do something crazy, Vic. With a win against Getafe this weekend, if they beat them at the Mestalla, which they are very good at Mestalla, they would be on 45 points. And if the teams above them lost, they would shoot from 12th place in the table all the way up to 8th and be in a Conference League spot. Now, whenever you hear just them being in Europe after the season they had, that's insane. But also the context is half of the league is going into Europe. So it is what it is. Celta Vigo hosts Sevilla, and it's a good time for Celta after they've hit a rough patch recently, losing 3 of their last 5. But Sevilla are just terrible right now, and Celta will look to solidify their European credentials. Villarreal go on the road to Girona off back-to-back wins, and Girona essentially sealed their safety with the win last week, but they would love a little bit more of a buffer. That'll be a tough task, though, with Villarreal fighting to get back into the Champions League for the first time in a couple years, I think. Actually, I was looking it up before, I had some research to do for the show and show notes and all that. The last time that Villarreal were in the Champions League, they lost to Liverpool in the semifinal, and I was just, I don't know, I didn't remember them getting that far. That's crazy. Okay. Anyway,
go Liverpool.
The more you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Mid-table Mallorca get cellar dwellers Valladolid. Mallorca, like most of the top half of the table, they're only a couple wins away from sneaking back into the European places, so they'll be looking to put a hurting on Valladolid. Atleti looked to bounce back against La Real after their shock draw with Alaves last weekend. And despite that draw, Atleti they've been in decent form recently in the league, but you can't really say that for Real Sociedad. I don't want to say anything else because they just haven't been that good this season. And they're still only a couple points away from being in a European competition. On Sunday, Leganes have 4 matches to get themselves out of the relegation zone, and they take on Espanyol. Espanyol should be fine with a 7-point gap to 18th and an 8-point gap to 19th, but Leganes, a win here makes things super interesting for that relegation battle, Vic. And of course, it's El Clasico, and we will dig in just a moment. Athletic Club take on Alaves in a match that both teams need 3 points. Alaves for safety and Athletic Club to secure Champions League football next season. Betis take on Osasuna, and this one should be fun. If it wasn't for El Clasico, this would have been the one I highlighted because Betis are on a 3-game winning streak. And before Osasuna lost to Villarreal last time out, they were on a 3-game winning streak of their own. And let's not forget that the last team Betis lost to was Villarreal. So obviously, Villarreal is a better team than both of them, but they're playing each other on really good form at the moment. So that one's going to be fun. Make sure you check it out. And again, our match of the week is El Clasico, and it goes down Sunday morning, Central Time. And man, there's a lot on the line here. There's a lot of, obviously, both teams. They're always fun matches to watch, all the history that goes in between them. But Vic, Barca coming into this one after a heartbreaker in the Champions League against Inter. I like saying it like that. In a match that I think most people, probably myself included, thought that they would win. And now the treble is off. They can still get the double, though, as they've already been crowned Copa del Rey champions. But Real Madrid, on the other hand, they have nothing else to play for other than this La Liga. So this is the season, and Carlo Ancelotti's leaving. There's so much that's about to change, and it's a 4-point gap with 3 matches left after this match. And if Real don't win, Vic, it is over. This is it. There's no more drawing for them. They have to stop the losses to Barca at 3 and get this one because, if they don't, they get nothing this year. And it doesn't look good. And for all that Carlo Ancelotti's done for this team, I think they deserve to be, in a better standing when he leaves. I feel like if you're a Madridista, as they say, you probably saw something change in the last El Clasico, the Copa del Rey, that gave them hope because the first 2, they got their ass whooped. This last one, there was a lot of questionable decisions. Obviously, we had Rudiger throwing ice and being an idiot, and it was a crazy match. But I think that if you're going for Real Madrid, you might think that there's more hope here. Plus, they'll be playing a drained Barcelona side who are just getting back from Milan. Plus, they have a lot of injuries mounting up, and it's just it seems like it's theirs for the taking. They're being Real Madrid's for the taking. And this result, I mean, for Barcelona anyway, it really could define the season because Hansi Flick's Barca have been dominant throughout this entire run, throughout this entire season in every competition they've played. But if they were to lose this one, they'd still have a point, right? A point with 3 matches. But still, it's not a good look. And I don't know. It's just hard to call, Vic, because Barca they've already beat Real Madrid 3 times this season. But it's just crazy. I looked up the stats, though. The last time that Barca beat Madrid 4 times in a row, that was 2008 and 2010. So that stretch of years was the last time that they beat them 4 times in a row. But for Madrid, they won 4 El Clasicos in a row right before this streak started for Barca. So I don't know how to call this one. I feel like it's Madrid's for the taking. And if I was a betting man, I'd probably I don't know. Yeah, I'll go Madrid. This one.
I'm right there with you, man. This one's like so close. Like, honestly, if I mean, when we watched that Inter and Barca game, after that game, and I know it's because they're out of the Champions League, but they just looked exhausted, man. That whole team was just down. And I mean, I think it's just so soon to be playing them. It still might affect them, and Real's gonna, get take advantage of that and get the win. That's just how I think. Because man, if you go back and look at the end of that game, that whole team was just drained, like you said earlier. And I think that'll play a fact. That's gonna be a factor. And I think Real Madrid take it.
And they played who played yesterday? They played on Tuesday, right? So that would mean that they have like four. Yeah, because PSG was yesterday.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was just counting the days. Like there's 4 days rest in between.
Yeah.
Either way, 3 or 4 is not a lot of days
Yeah.
for the amount of game that they had to play. And it went into extra time too. Like, yeah, it's just not a good look right now. But also, I'm kind of like you're saying, playing both sides here. Don't forget, Barca have already won. They've already whooped their ass 3 times this year. So we'll see. I'm still going Madrid.
I'll go Madrid. But also, if this was any other team, like if this wasn't El Clasico, I'd probably still go with Barcelona. But this is just another highly emotional game. Everyone's going to be involved. The fans are going to be going crazy. I don't know if they can keep it up. So again, Real Madrid. I got it.
This is Sunday. Oh, we should go watch this one, but it's Mother's Day, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to watch this one together anyway. Okay, that is all for La Liga. Let's go on to Germany.
Let's do it. To Bundesliga. As I refill here. Ooh, that's a heavy.
Oh, look at you. Gotcha. And we already know that the king is crowned in the Bundesliga, or shielded. It's not a crown.
Shielded? Yeah.
Shield, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But anyway, where's the rest of the table lie after match day 32, Vic?
Yes, sir. As you said, the Kings are crowned. Bayern Munich are your champions. They clinched it with 76 points this season. They are followed by Bayer Leverkusen, who have 68 points. They are in the second spot. And yeah, just 8 points was too much. 8 points behind Bayern Munich was too much. Then you have Eintracht Frankfurt in the number 3 spot with 56 points. And then rounding out our top 4 is Freiburg with 52 points. And Snooze, I'm going to call this out again since they both drew. Bayern Munich and Freiburg, that keeps the goal differential at 64 points between number 1 and number 4, as Freiburg still have a -3 goal differential and Bayern Munich have a 61. That is insane. I don't know if it's ever been that way for any number 1 or 4 team.
Like, imagine they get into the Champions League with a negative goal differential.
Dude, it's so crazy. Yeah, just want to call that out, because also tickling our top 4 is Borussia Dortmund, the yellow team. They have 51 points. And then one more point behind them is RB Leipzig with 50 points, fighting for those Champions League spots, fighting for those Europa League spots. Going to be pretty interesting for the rest of the table, not Bayern Munich. And also a little interesting on the bottom here, because we do have Bochum. They're at least going to be either fighting for their spot in relegation or already relegated, because you have Heidenheim who have 26 points. They are in the 16th spot. 17th spot is Holstein Kiel with 25 points, and then Bochum, Bochum, holding up the rest of the table with 22 points in the 18th spot. There's only 6 points left to fight for. They can have 28 points. They're not going to beat Hoffenheim, so they're at least going to be fighting for it. We just don't know how to, if we can call anybody absolutely relegated yet, because we don't know. I mean, 2 of these teams are going to be relegated. We don't know who's going to be fighting to not be relegated, basically. So,
playoff.
Yeah, that playoff. That's the only reason I don't have an R on there somewhere. But anything else on the table you want to call out?
Not in the table, but I want to see Bundesliga too. Who the other playoff team might be for currently Heidenheim. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
So, oh wow, this is a very tight league. Let's see how many games are in this. 34. Okay. So right now. That's crazy. Hamburg is top with 56 points. Cologne is second with 55 points, so only a point difference. And then the next, it looks like Elversberg and Paderborn are 52 points. So it is a very competitive league. And then the next 3 teams are all on 50 points. This is crazy. There's a lot of teams.
Yeah.
But I think as of right now, it'd be Elversberg. I don't think I've ever seen them in the Bundesliga. I'd have to look that up.
Well, anyway, be sure to subscribe, everyone, because we will keep updating y'all throughout the rest of these last 2 weeks. And we'll be giving you all the updates and letting you know who's going to be fighting for what and who's well relegated. But we do have an exciting matchup against one of our yellow teams, and we will talk about that a little bit more and talk about the rest of the weekend we have for Bundesliga Snooze.
Yeah, because we're only 2 match days away from the end, right? We have 34. Yeah, so there's only 2 more. One more after this one. It's so crazy how tight everything is in the Bundesliga. But it all kicks off Friday. Hoffenheim, they look to guarantee their survival as they go on the road to take on Wolfsburg. And Wolfsburg have been one of the worst clubs in the Bundesliga the past couple of months. And I like their odds. Hoffenheim is there of getting 3 points here. On Saturday, Kiel's fight for survival continues with Freiburg coming to town. And Freiburg have to win to get into the Champions League. And Kiel are trying to build off back-to-back wins to stay in the Bundesliga. It is a tough break for Kiel, though, as their final 2 matches, they get Freiburg this week and Dortmund next week. Oh, tough.
Yeah.
Bottom of the table, Bochum host Mainz. And both teams are in terrible form at the moment, and you would expect Mainz can get their first win in 7 matches here, Vic. Bremen take on Leipzig, and they have a chance to go level on points with them with a win. Leipzig might be spurred on with that draw they got with Bayern last time out, but this Leipzig team have been anything but consistent this season. Union Berlin host Double H, and Heidenheim need a win as they're just a point above Kiel in the 17th spot and 5 points back from Hoffenheim in 15th. Union at home is a tough out, though. Obviously, that's a bucket list home stadium for us. Bayern take on a mid-table Gladbach side and at the Allianz Arena, and Gladbach have been really, really bad lately. You would expect if Bayern put on a show here. Kane's back. The trophy's locked up. This one could get ugly. On Sunday, our Bundesliga matchup of the weekend sees Leverkusen take on Dortmund at home. We'll talk about this one more in a second. And then it's Eintracht Frankfurt getting St. Pauli at home, and both teams are looking for a few more points to claim their spot. St. Pauli trying to avoid the playoff relegation, and Eintracht Frankfurt are looking to lock up that 3rd spot in the table and get into the Champions League. VfB Stuttgart. Is that how you say that? Anyway, Stuttgart.
Damn good. Hell yeah. That's how you say
there you go. Stuttgart get Augsburg in a mid-table clash, and neither team has a real shot to do anything other than bragging rights, I guess. I looked it up. I was like, why is this match on the island game on Sunday? Doesn't seem like it's any rivalry or derby or anything like that. So just, good old mid-table clash that means nothing for these teams. But should be a fun one because Stuttgart, they have some time. Voltemata is always fun to watch. Go check them out. Okay, Vic, let's talk about the big one, though. And we have Dortmund versus Leverkusen. And unlike Liverpool, who have nothing to play for and rested everybody and just kind of like let Chelsea win for no reason, Leverkusen said, F that, and they came back against, I believe it's Freiburg last weekend. So they come into this match with everything locked up. They have nothing to play for. But like I was just mentioning, they came back against Freiburg. They showed heart. If you watch the highlights from it, Xabi Alonso was just like going insane. They scored last second. He was celebrating with the boys, and it's like, dude, why are you risking all these injuries? But with that said, Dortmund, they're a point behind Freiburg, and a top 4 spot is just around the corner. I mean, if they can catch Freiburg and get into that 4th spot with 2 matches to go, well, with 1 match to go after this one, it's just kind of, you'd expect them to get it over the line because Freiburg, they have more experience in doing so than Freiburg does. I mean, I'm going for Freiburg because it's just new, something fresh, and we'll see how it plays out. But this one, it's kind of weird because if Leverkusen continue to play this match like they did last weekend, then this will be a really, really fun match. A lot of goals, a lot of scoring. But I just feel like at the end of the day, Dortmund have so much more to play for because they actually are trying to get some more wins because they need them. That they'll be staying in tackles a little longer, pushing a little harder, right? Going for that ball a little bit more than Leverkusen because, again, these guys, why risk the injury? There's nothing to play for here. So I'm going Dortmund for that reason. I'm going for probably like a 2-1, maybe even 3-1. I don't know. I don't feel like Leverkusen will really be able to push that. Or not that they won't be able to, but that they won't. Vic, do you see it the same way?
I do. I think I see it the same way. And for the same exact reasons. I think that Dortmund just have more to play for right now. I think they'll come in with a little bit more heart. And, there are yellow teams. How can I not go for them?
Yeah, the yellow guys.
Yeah, I think they got it this week.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll have a lot more clarity. Obviously, there's only going to be one more match day after this one, so we'll have a lot more clarity. But I'm excited to see it because it's pretty tight still in those last European qualification spots, and so yeah, we'll follow up on the European reach around on Monday and see where we are. Okay, I think we've set it all for that league. Let's move on to jolly old England.
Let's do it. To the Prem. You know, I've always wondered what the middle icon is in our Premier League thing. Do you know what that is?
I mean, screw
Have
it.
you
Let's
seen
see
it?
again. Let's see it.
Let's
No,
play it again, producers. Let's see what it is. See if y'all can see it, and let us know in the comments. Kind of looks like a coffee cup, but it could be just a beer with foam, right? Yeah. Okay.
It's a pint.
It looks like a coffee cup, though.
Yeah.
Producer says it's a pint, so it's a pint.
All right, there you go. And where does the table stand in the Prem after match day 35, sir?
Well, it's a beautiful thing, Snooze. I'm glad you asked because Liverpool are still your champions, and I'm going to keep saying still your champions because it still sounds cool. So they were able to clinch the title with 82 points. They are followed by Arsenal, who with 67 points, a clear 15 points, still below Liverpool in the number 2 spot. Manchester City have fought their way back up to the number 3 spot with 64 points, followed by Newcastle United. I'm sorry for yelling in your ear there. I'm sorry. With 63 points, just 1 point behind Manchester City. Also tied with 63 points is Chelsea, rounding out our top 5. And then tickling our top 5 is the feel-good story of the season, Nottingham Forest. They actually slipped out of the Champions League spots, but hopefully they can get back in there, either with the places sliding down for the Champions League. I couldn't figure that sentence out. Or, actually just getting more points than Chelsea or Manchester City. We'll see. But they have 61 points, again, tickling our top 5. And if we go to the bottom of the table, you'll see the relegation squad. Ipswich Town, Leicester City, Southampton. I could tell you all the numbers, but it doesn't matter because they are all relegated and all have some dates with Wrexham, our boys at Wrexham, next year in the championship.
Wrexham.
Anything on the table, Snooze, you want to call out or take a look at?
A funny story, actually. I was listening to one of the podcasts, just preparing for the show, kind of getting my wits about me, and someone was talking about how Nottingham Forest, they're outside of the Champions League spots after being there basically all season, and they were saying, wouldn't it be insane if it's going to happen, but one of Spurs or Manchester United is going to get into the Champions League, and Forest might not after all they did this season. The way that they fell in the table, it's just an unfair world that we live in, and that's hilarious. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I want to see Forest in there, but it's getting dark early, as they say. Yeah. Oh, what do you think about that? That was off the dome. That was off the dome.
Off the dome. That's crazy, man. You've been doing work. I like it. All right. Well, there are 2 teams with 63 points. We gave them the number 4 and 5 spot, Newcastle United and Chelsea. They're going to be our match of the week, but tell us what else is going on this weekend, Snooze.
We have everything kicking off on Saturday, and that first match you might not want to watch is Southampton getting City at home, and City will make it 5 wins in a row in the Prem, and it's the wrong Manchester team for that dude with puffy hair to cut his hair after 5 wins. Do you know what I'm talking about? If not, it's online. There's this dude who's like, I'm not cutting my hair until Manchester United win 5 games in a row. And obviously they haven't done that, and his hair is just massive now. I was trying to make a joke, but nobody knows it. Anyway, wrong Manchester team.
Somebody got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Fulham get Everton at Craven Cottage as both teams look to get back to winning ways. I don't know if it means much to either of them, but let's go get something. When is the last match at Goodison Park? It's got to be coming up soon, right? Danny P, just hit us up and let us know. And who they play. Wolves take on mid-table Brighton as they try to bounce back after the loss to City last time out. Brighton haven't been in great form for a while, so I'm actually very interested to see how this one plays out. It's kind of like my sleeper match of the weekend. Brighton, not that Brighton are good, but there's just, you expect them to beat a team like Wolves, but I don't know. It's interesting. Okay. Relegated Ipswich take on Brentford, who I guess still have an outside chance of finishing in the European places at the end of the season, but it's very slim. Bournemouth only have 1 more point than Brentford in the fight for Europe, and they get Villa at home, who they themselves are still making a Champions League push. After playing so well in the Champions League this season, it would be a big smack in the face if they had to play in the Conference League. If you're Villa, I heard a beep. Did he tell us?
He did. The last game at Everton is next week at Southampton. Southampton is coming over.
Oh, Southampton at Goodison Park.
Yeah.
Hey, that's perfect.
Win.
Hey, that's good. What a better way.
Or Southampton has the opportunity to do the funniest thing. We'll see.
No. They're going to put 5 past them. All right. On Sunday, our game of the weekend is a 6 a.m. standard time game. It's Newcastle hosting Chelsea. We'll talk about this some more in a second. We also get Manchester United, who get West Ham at Old Trafford, with the relegation not possible for either side, obviously, because we had some terrible teams in the bottom of the table this Premier League. I heard a beep again, and it's throwing me off. Sorry. You're talking mess with each other. Anyway,
he said, real quick, he just said that Everton were Southampton's first win of the season. So
he's like, yeah, we might. Dang, that was. Hey, while we're on that subject, I still remember, and I don't know why I vividly remember this, but I remember the last game at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium when the Ravens ran all over them and then like scored like 15 touchdowns and it was just like, yeah, and I can't remember. It was one of the Brandon Jacobs, I think, was the running back at the time. He was like, shut this thing down. It was just like, wow, so
dude, they rushed for like 400 yards that day. I think it was ridiculous.
So, anyway, I bring that up to say, like, God, don't let that happen. Don't let Southampton go and shut that place down like that. That'd be embarrassing. We'll talk about that one next week. Anyway, in the Manchester United West Ham game, let's get back to it. This match is really just about pride at this point, and neither team have anything left in the Prem, but obviously Manchester United have a big game in the Europa League final. Forest get a much-needed date with Leicester after they've only won once in their last 5 matches, and it comes at a good time as well since they have fallen to 6th, but 2 teams above them play head-to-head this week, and we'll talk about that one in a second, as we just alluded to, so it's a good chance for them to get 3 points against Leicester. Spurs get Crystal Palace in North London. Neither team has been great in the league lately, but Palace have drawn 3 straight and are not an easy out. Spurs really won't care, though, because the Europa League final is all that is on their mind. The champs take on the second team, and this was, I'm sure, scheduled as a blockbuster matchup this late in the season, but Arsenal put all their eggs in the Champions League basket and came up short, and Liverpool already won the Prem. So you're going to watch it if you're a fan, I'm sure. But Vic, let's talk about the big match of the Prem this weekend, and that is Newcastle versus Chelsea. Now, with Chelsea's win over Liverpool last weekend, which was gifted to them, they are primed to get into the Champions League again. And both of these teams couldn't have more parity, as they're both on 63 points. They both have a goal differential of 21, and both of them, they're in the Champions League places at the moment. And you would think that, Vic, a draw would be okay, but they can't draw because Forest are right behind them, only 2 points back from them, actually. And they have Leicester this week, as we just mentioned. So 3 points for either side is needed. So this one, I'm really excited. Well, I'm not going to watch it because it's 6 a.m. Yeah, maybe the baby girl wakes up and I'll watch it. But either way, the point is it's a game that both teams have to go after. They have to get 3 points because if not, Forest are slipping right back up there. And, man, Newcastle have had some up and down results lately. Chelsea, they come in with 3 wins in a row, and it seems like all the momentum is on their side. But this is a massive tie between them, and I just think Newcastle is a better team overall. I'm going for Newcastle. I think it'll be like a 3-2, something like that. I'm hoping for a good quality game. I was going to say that I'll watch, but that I'll see the highlights of. So, but either way, if there's a loser in this match, they could be on the outside looking in for the Champions League spots. Or if they draw, it's not good, and Forest can jump both of them. So, Vic, how do you see it, Indy?
Well, I got this going, and it's going to be a 3-step process. It's part of a 3-step process that I think I have going on here. So I have Newcastle and Chelsea ending in a draw. I don't know if it's going to be 1-1, 6-6. I don't know what it is. It's going to be a draw.
Okay.
Not only that, Nottingham Forest is going to beat Leicester City. And then not only that, a little bit further out, a little bit harder to do here, but I'm going to try my hardest. Manchester City is going to lose to Southampton. This would give us a 4-way tie with 64 points in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th spots. And it would just make the last 3 weeks way more interesting. Yeah. So that's what I'm going for. And that's your money, guaranteed money parlay for everybody out there. We don't do that. No way Manchester City's losing. But for all you degenerates, if you think, I wonder what the odds are on that. Just those 3 things happening. This is how people get addicted. No, I don't wonder that. Never
yeah,
mind. I do not want
I mean, if someone wants to bet on that, then that's yeah, you'd have to be a degenerate because there's no way that City are losing that match.
If you guys bet on
that's
that
crazy
and win, give me 10%. Let me know in the comments if that
let me know.
you.
Let me know if that hits for you. That is hilarious and not going to happen. And now I'm going to be watching that match just because I'm like, oh damn it! Like there's like if Southampton score first, I'm going to be like, oh man,
my god, yeah,
what is going on here? What's this voodoo you got going on? Okay, Vic,
it happened.
We are coming up on the hour mark. I said we do it quicker. It never happens that way. Take us home.
You got it. Hey, everyone. Thank you for spending some time with us talking about some European football. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's the best way to promote us, of course. And then also comment down below what you're most excited for this weekend. We'd love to talk to you guys in the comments. And be sure to follow us on all of our social medias. Everything is at No Business Soccer Podcast, except for TikTok, except for Twitter. That is No Biz Sock Pod because it was way too long to put in those handles. Not only that, everyone, it's Mother's Day this weekend. Everyone have a safe and happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, all the new mothers out there, your wife included. Cheesy, if you're watching, love you. Happy Mother's Day. And yeah, everyone have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.